This is Mac OS Ken.
Wrapping up the Wonderstuff, RF concerns around an old iPhone, and a truly killer trailer. It is Friday, the 15th of September, 2023. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSCan. We'll start today with a few more things that happened Tuesday, either during or in the wake of Apple's Wonderstuff event. Have you heard about Apple's AirPods Pro? They seem to be a source of confusion and frustration. Apple put out a press release Tuesday introducing AirPods Pro 2nd generation with USB-C charging capabilities. This is where the confusion begins. 2nd generation AirPods Pro were first announced at Apple's 2022 September event. Is a new case really worth a whole press release? Well, it's a USB-C case. According to Apple's release, the new AirPods Pro are updated with the USB-C connector, so it's easy to use a single cable to charge Mac, iPad, AirPods, and the iPhone 15 lineup. Users can even charge AirPods directly with the whole iPhone 15 line, which also comes with a USB-C connector. Wait, can we go back to the beginning? New AirPods? Actually kind of sounds like it. The press release points out that the new stoppers sport an improved IP54 rating, offering additional dust resistance for both the AirPods and the case. On top of that, Apple says AirPods Pro 2nd generation with MagSafe charging case, USB-C, will enable lossless audio with ultra-low latency to deliver the perfect true wireless solution with Apple Vision Pro. The H2 chip in the latest AirPods Pro and Apple Vision Pro, combined with a groundbreaking wireless audio protocol, unlocks powerful 20-bit, 48 kHz lossless audio with a massive reduction in audio latency. So to get the most out of your $3,499 headset, you're going to need to spend another $250 on AirPods? That feels bad. All of this seems to have gotten on the nerves of Bloomberg's Mark Gurman. For the first time in a long time, I'm with him. Earlier this week on Twitter, Gurman said it is completely bizarre and unreasonable if the USB-C AirPods Pro are required to work with the Vision Pro and the same generation AirPods Pro bought a week ago don't. I know internally, AirPods Pro prior to the update work from a technology standpoint. Yeah, okay, that, plus, aren't people going to be confused? I have AirPods Pro 2, they might say. Why do I need another pair of AirPods Pro 2? Kind of feels like there was an easy solution here. Call them AirPods Pro 3, or AirPods Pro 2S, or AirPods SV Pro. Short for AirPods Sound Plus Vision Pro. That one's mine. Though if you're interested, Apple, let's do lunch. If you, the consumer, are thinking, all I want is the USB-C charging case, I don't need new AirPods, good news. You can buy the case for $249 and get a free pair of spare AirPods SV Pro. Couple of clarifications. You probably couldn't hear the quotation marks around free, but trust me, they were there. The other clarification, as a report from Mac Rumors points out, Apple is not selling standalone USB-C cases. If you want a USB-C charging case, you're buying a new pair of AirPods Pro S2... what did I call it? The lack of a standalone case also struck Gurman as odd, though unsurprising. Makes sense that it would. It is odd. And Gurman's whole shtick is not being surprised. While Apple added a new, though oddly named, pair of AirPods this week, at least two things went away. iPhone mini, and plastic wrap. I mean, one away from Apple's offerings. There's still plastic wrap at the grocery store, and it's not like the iPhone minis were raptured or anything. Let's go first to the fallen phone. A piece from Engadget says the writing was on the wall for the iPhone mini series last year. That is, of course, when Apple opted for iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus, rather than iPhone 14 mini and iPhone 14. That ended a run that began with 2020's iPhone 12 mini, followed the next year by iPhone 13 mini. Though Apple stopped offering new models of mini a couple of years ago, iPhone 13 mini was still available earlier this week. In the Wonderlust wake, Engadget says iPhone 13 mini now has been stricken from the portfolio. I gotta say, based on nothing but my gut, which has been wrong more times than I can count, I still think it could be back next year. 2 years mini, 2 years plus, 2 years mini, 2 years plus. Don't trust my gut, though. It has been wrong more times than I can count. As for the cling wrap, that is not gone yet, though. It has started the going blank phase. A piece from Apple Insider had the company saying Tuesday that it will phase out all plastic packaging by the end of 2024. Folks in the UK saw several Apple prices go down this week. Mac Rumors runs through what the King's subjects can now get for less. Like for like, the piece says models in the iPhone 15 line are at least £100 cheaper than corresponding iPhone 14 models, iPhone 15 Pro Max not included. AirPods Max are said to have dropped in price from £549 to $499, and AirPods Pro, second generation SVU or whatever, dropped in price from £249 to £229. In addition to the hardware price reductions, iPhone battery replacement got cheaper as well. Replacements have dropped £10 for iPhone 14 models, moving from £105 to $95. For the rest of the line still eligible for service, they've dropped £4. For the iPhone XR through iPhone 13, replacements now run £85. For iPhone SE, iPhone 7, and iPhone 8, replacements now run £65. While the UK seems to have had it good on the iPhone battery thing, battery service for Apple Watch seems to have gone up in the States. 9to5Mac says out-of-warranty battery services have gone up 25% for most models in the US. At the start of the week, battery service for Apple Watch Series 4 or later was $79. On Tuesday, it went up to $99. For Apple Watch Series 2 and Series 3 models, the piece says the replacement price is still $79. Attention people of Spain and Switzerland, help is on the way. A piece from Mac Rumors says emergency SOS via satellite and Find My via satellite are both hitting both of those countries later this month. They'll join 14 other countries supporting the services, including Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Portugal, the UK, and the US. Something of a brouhaha brewing between Apple and France over a phone that is 3 years old. CNET ran a piece earlier this week saying the Hexagon has asked Apple to temporarily stop selling the iPhone 12 there due to concerns around high radio frequency. According to that country's National Frequency Agency, and how often do you hear that, iPhone 12 exceeds European Specific Absorption Rate, or SAR, limits. According to CNET, Agence Nationale de Fréquence, or ANFR, manages France's radio frequencies. As part of its job to monitor radio equipment, ANFR periodically tests phones to check human exposure to electromagnetic waves. 3 years after its introduction. ANFR says the SAR values are too high while the phone is in contact with the body, though they're fine further away, such as in a coat pocket or satchel. In a statement on Tuesday, ANFR said, Apple must immediately take all measures to prevent the affected phones present in the supply chain from being made available. For phones already sold, Apple must take corrective action as soon as possible to bring the affected phones into compliance. Otherwise, it will be up to Apple to recall them. The piece has a junior minister for the French government saying Apple should be able to fix the issue with a software update. Until they do, though, guess who else is looking into the issue? Belgium, man. Belgium. On Thursday, 9 to 5 Mac ran a piece that had that country calling for due diligence and then some. According to the report, not only has the Belgium State Secretary called on regulators to investigate iPhone 12, they also want an investigation into all models of iPhone, as well as devices made by other producers, at a later stage. Belgium, man. It's not just Belgium. Another piece from 9 to 5 Mac says Germany and Spain are also said to be eyeing iPhone 12 over the RF issue. Now, really not pleased with any of this is, you guessed it, Frank Stallone. I mean Apple. On Wednesday, 9 to 5 Mac ran a piece that had the Cupertino company disputing ANFR's RF finding. That piece quoted a Reuters report saying Apple said in a statement that iPhone 12, launched in 2020, was certified by multiple international bodies as compliant with global radiation standards, that it had provided several Apple and third-party lab results proving iPhone's compliance with the French agency, and that it was contesting its findings. In one way, it's much ado about nothing. France called for Apple to stop sales of iPhone 12 on the same day that Apple stopped sales of iPhone 12. Of course, they've also called for a fix, assuming there's a problem, which Apple says there's not. Anyway, that's what Apple says at the top level. In stores, it's like nobody knows anything. There is one more report out there that is treating Apple's treatment of this as nefarious. Amid this situation, says a report from 9 to 5 Mac, Apple has reportedly asked its employees to keep quiet about the radiation levels of the iPhone 12. Citing a report from Bloomberg, the piece says Apple has advised its tech support team not to provide any information when consumers ask about radiation risks. Workers have been instructed to say that they have nothing to share. They were also told to reinforce that phones can't be returned or replaced 2 weeks after purchase. And finally today, 2 new trailers to tell you about before we wrap the day. First, Apple TV Plus is giving viewers another look at Lessons in Chemistry. Set in the early 1950s and starring Academy Award winner Brie Larson, Apple's description of the show says Lessons in Chemistry follows Elizabeth Zott, played by Larson, whose dream of being a scientist is put on hold in a patriarchal society. When Elizabeth finds herself fired from her lab, she accepts a job as a host on a TV cooking show and sets out to teach a nation of overlooked housewives and the men who are suddenly listening a lot more than recipes. A piece from Cult of Mac describes it as an 8-episode series. I'm not sure whether that's 8 episodes for the first season or 8 episodes and out. We will find out pretty soon, though. The show hits Apple TV Plus on Friday, the 13th of October. The trailer is up now on YouTube. No offense to anybody who worked on Lessons in Chemistry, but this week's big trailer is for what is bound to be one of the biggest movies, if not the biggest movie of the year. Another piece from Cult of Mac says Apple has released the final trailer for the Martin Scorsese epic Killers of the Flower Moon. We've been talking about this movie for years. Seriously, years. I doubt I need to tell you about it again. Here's what I will do instead. I will tell you that I love Scorsese's work. That said, I really haven't been that into his last few movies. And I really cannot wait to see this one. I know it's going to be violent, which I don't like. I know it's going to be depressing, which I don't like. This trailer just does it. It's not the Goodfellas trailer, but it's not nothing. Killers of the Flower Moon hits theaters and IMAX on Friday, the 20th of October. It'll hit Apple TV Plus sometime after that. The new trailer is up now on YouTube. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.